Hello, and welcome back to another week of a BlackLantic, still in person. I hope you're not tired of this great energy that we've got. And this week we've got an in-person guest for the first time during this trip, which is so exciting. Olumide Ojo is here, the editor of The Mall magazine.
Editor?
Editor-in-chief? Founder.
Publisher.
Founder will be
Founder,
fine.
publisher, all of the titles. I'm used to editor-in-chief.
A man who wears many hats, for
Of
sure.
course.
Certainly, when you're an entrepreneur, you're definitely many different titles.
Yep.
But yes, welcome. We are so happy to be interviewing Olumide
Yeah.
in person. So for all of our viewers and listeners, if this is your first time tuning in, please make sure you subscribe, hit that follow button, like button, comment, share this with your friends. Every little action you do helps uplift BlackLantic voices and get the word out there, which is something that is being done with the mall as well.
Before we get into it, here is our land acknowledgement.
BlackLantic Media acknowledges that it carries out its work on the traditional unceded territory of the Wolastoqey, Mi'kmaq, and Pescataway peoples.
I would also like to acknowledge that I am seated on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people.
So welcome to the show
Welcome.
today.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. It's so good to have you on our show. It's so good to be talking with people who do similar work that we do.
And I think that this is a long time coming. I mean, I feel
Yeah.
like the BlackLantic account at least has been following the Mall magazine for
Yeah.
quite some time.
Yep.
And we're so excited to be able to have you here in person
Thank you.
at CHMA Studios, which we will get into your partnership with CHMA soon.
Yep.
But we should have said at the top, thank you so much,
Yes, thank you,
CHMA,
CHMA.
for helping us and especially helping us hook up the cool in-person setup. We're so thankful for it. But back
And
to you.
We were also together last February
Yep.
in Miramichi for the New Brunswick African Association's event, the
Summit.
2023 Black Summit.
Yep.
Yeah, so we connected there as well. Tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Yeah, my name is Olumide Ojo. I'm from Nigeria. I'm Africa, and because I always tell people I'm an African and I'm from Nigeria. So I started my journey when I started my journey when I was at the age of 20.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do basically is I love collecting music. I love collecting music. I'm also love being in the midst of people who share a lot of good ideas together.
Mhm.
And also, so from there, 4 years ago, my family we moved into Canada.
Mhm.
My wife was a student. She came in as a student. She was a student.
Okay.
So I also have my company back in Nigeria. So what I do is to move from Nigeria. And sometimes I'll be here for 2 months, back again. But my family moved into Canada at 2019. We moved
Okay.
into Canada 2019, and from there, so when I checked, I was doing a research about the whole of Atlantic Canada. I realized that we don't have this thing that I noticed that people are missing, and that's good music that we actually grow up with. I realized that people don't listen to that, so I realized that, you know what? Let me go into this. Let me start doing this online. So I started an online radio station where I play all African music. People love it. So, and again, I went into research again, and like, what? Let me see what I can do again, because I don't like staying somewhere like where I know I need to do a lot of things. So I also move into the magazine.
Mhm.
I started the magazine whereby I realized that the whole of Atlantic Canada, we don't have a magazine that we call a black magazine. So I started that. So I consult so many people. I seen so many people. What's the name? So what? One name. Should I call this? I said, okay, let's call it the Mall magazine. People were like, what's the Mall? The Mall is where you can get anything.
Yeah.
More is where you can get anything.
All right.
Where that's where the name from. You can get
Okay.
anything. You can get anything from, the more. That's the more.
Of course.
So the more magazine is where you can get, all the blacks. You can get it, and again we showcase businesses. We showcase people, people who we believe, people we showcase, people we believe that they are into businesses, people who has done a lot here, So so I started that. I remember my first edition. My first edition was summer. So I was going to people's house to knock their door. Please, can I have your story? Yeah. Or I went, start knocking. I said, you know what? I need your story. My story? For what? I said, you know what? No worry. Let's start this. So I started that. Now I remember the first edition, I have to call people, no. Okay, give me your advert. Don't worry, you don't need to design it. Because I'm an artist. I'm a graphic artist. I study fine art.
Okay.
I study fine art back home. So, you know what? Okay. So I started doing a lot of design, advert for people. The whole of the whole magazine, I designed it myself.
Wow.
Yeah, I designed it from the cover to the back cover. I also, let me surprise you, I'm also a photographer.
What don't you do? We've got music, we've got photography, we've got graphic design, we've got finance.
Yeah.
Family man.
Yeah, family man. And also, what people don't know about me is I'm also a sound engineer. I do that in my
picked that
church.
up by
So my first edition was funny. So the second edition also, people are like, oh, okay, maybe people thought, oh, we're just going to do it for the first edition and that is it. But inside me, I knew that no, this is what I want to do.
Right.
I want to showcase people. And one thing I know that actually works for me is once I see my people happy, I'm happy.
Good.
When I see people happy, and I'm happy. And, and again, I'm so grateful to my wife. She actually supported me. She said, you know what, if this is your passion, this is what you love, okay, go ahead. My family actually was behind me. And you know what? So I have a brother of mine too in Moncton. He said, I love your passion. I'm going to support you. This is a great idea. And a friend of mine's wife, he said, this is a beautiful idea. You should go ahead and do it. So I started the first edition, the second edition. The second edition, I was going. I want people to get stories. Travel from Moncton to Fredericton to St. John, all the way to Halifax to get story.
Wow.
To get story, everything free. Everything has to be free. I tell people, you don't need to, people, because definitely people will ask you, are you going to collect? It's going to come with something. I said, no, it's just going to be free. So I started that, the first edition, the second edition, the third edition, the fourth edition, the fifth edition. People are like, oh, guys, it's like something is coming up. You are doing something. So then I remember I met Clinton in the mall. I met him. I said, you know what? I said, I've been following you. I want to interview you. He said, fine, no problem. He said, when? Let me know when you're. Let me know when you're set. I'm available. Okay. This is good. At least I'm getting somewhere. And to kudos to you guys. Like I said to you, likewise. you guys are part of my history, part of my story. Because whenever I'm going to say, people are going to ask me about my story, be rest assured, your name definitely will feature. Just permit me to do that. I know your name. You say, and again, I know you've been doing a lot of amazing things in the whole of Atlantic Canada. I'm telling you, your story I followed. Because I remember when I came in, I was looking for I was going on my research. I was trying to get people that I know they've done a lot here, and they keep the African thing. They keep interviewing a lot of people. Your name was among it. I'm telling you. So I was All my social, if you notice, if you go to all your social media, you will see me. I'm there.
Of course, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Big supporter.
I followed you, or I check your program. So it's so when I look at people like you that are there before me, yeah, that you can do it. I believe in, So I look at that, like, you know what? What these people can do, I can't do it. So if I have any, sometimes, let me confess now. Let me confess now. Sometimes, no. Let me. Look, I need to tell you. Sometimes I watch your program, and that sometimes gives me idea
Good.
of what my next edition will look like.
Really?
Yep.
I love that.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
That's
Sometimes I check your past edition.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. That means you guys are doing a wonderful thing.
We're trying.
You mean? See, I don't think you are aware that people are watching you all over the world. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Yeah. I'm telling you. So I look at that sometimes. I check your profile. I check your stories, and I check and pick something. Oh, they're like, oh, this person is this person, because I remember sometimes late last year, you interviewed someone on Dallas. Was the guy for the and again I've seen there's this person from is it from Cameroon. I've watched a lot of it, so I look at that as my template. Most of the time I watch your program and I look at it as a template. I'm like, oh, okay, this is it. So part of my story to the magazine is I followed you.
Wow.
I followed your footsteps. You may not know that people are doing that. May not be only me. I doubt it is not only me.
I promise.
We don't know.
I promise. I was just gonna say. I promise we didn't have you on here to compliment us. Like this.
Yeah.
Just
Your gratitude is flattering and overwhelming.
And I'll take a moment to share that we were in the mall. We have a little spread in this magazine. And it was honestly touching to be asked and to work alongside you and have this be published in here. Our second magazine publication this in 2023. But we're so thrilled. If you're listening and not watching, first of all, it's an in-person episode. You should be watching. But we're showing you the pages of the Mall magazine, which is stunning. It's so beautiful. I'm so impressed that you designed this.
Yeah, I designed it.
Wow.
Everything to the advert there.
You put our logo in the O of Clinton's name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
that's another design. I'm telling you.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
You know what? When I was doing this, I like, you know what can I do to, that? Oh, I need to put that. Oh, let me start checking. Like, oh, you have a logo. Oh, let me just put your name there, and that you have this your logo, you have this your template, the turntable. Turntable. You have this your turntable on your program. Yeah. That you turn it. That's where I picked that from.
Okay, so we're building off each other.
And to that point, I think I just want to highlight that we're honored to be able to be your template and anyone's template. I think too often, and we talked about this a little bit before starting the recording, but too often people in a lot of communities, but I think especially minority communities, might look at other people as competition because investment is scarce, money is rare, and instead of collaborating, we are often competing. But I mean, like, hey, interview our guests, highlight our people. We highlighted them because we want everyone to highlight them and highlight each other. So if you're a person listening, interview Olumide. Be in the mall, buy the mall, be a part of this, rich community that we're all working so hard to build. But I think I speak on behalf of both of us that's so touching to be a part of your story, to be a part of the magazine, and to be a template for anyone that you want to feature. All we want to do is inspire people. And you've
Yeah.
inspired us.
Thank you for your words. I would say that we are part of each other's stories now,
Yes.
going forward, and we look forward. Like this is not the first magazine from you that I've read, and this is really well put together. This one, like you're stepping it up. I think the quality level is
Yes.
next level
we keep
compared to
moving
what I've
up.
seen in the
You know.
past.
Yeah.
This is really gonna go places.
Thank
and,
you.
We're so glad to be a part of it. Before I put this back on the table, and also our friend, I noticed our friend Fox.
Yes, Michael J. Fox is in this.
Is featured,
Yeah.
and a number of other really interesting.
You're also
people.
working alongside Yusuf Shire, who was a friend of the show.
Yeah.
And what's her name?
Demilola.
Damilola,
Yes, who's also been a
yeah.
guest on the show.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. So, very briefly, when you started coming here in 2019, and you were back and forth between your wife who's a student and being here, what was your initial impression of Canada? Did you have any stops ahead of? I was like, what? Did you have any stops ahead of coming to Moncton, or was Moncton destination one? And you come out and you're like, yo, we're not in Nigeria anymore.
When we were planning to come to Canada, my wife, because she's coming to, as a student, she's coming into, she has all the, she did all the research.
Of course.
Not me.
Yeah.
Not me at all. She just said, oh, you know what? I said, where are we going? He said, Moncton. I said, Moncton? Where in Moncton? He said, because I was thinking, Toronto, Calgary.
Montreal,
she said, she said, no, Moncton. I said, Moncton, where's Moncton? Because I never,
That's what a lot of Canadians say.
Yeah.
Yeah, Moncton. Like, Moncton, I don't know where. She said, oh, that's why I give all the kudos to my wife all the time. And she said, "Oh, let's go. It's a small town." And I said, "Oh, okay, that's fine." So our first landing here, I was shocked. Okay, what small town? Where are we going? Where? Like, okay, so we we have no idea of this place. No friend. We don't have friends. So the first day we got someone to pick us from, at the airport, and we were there. So from there, because I'm not, I'm more of a social person. So I started doing a research. What can we do? What can we do? Because my wife is here. So, but for the first 1 year, I have to go back to Nigeria. You know what? I have to start flying in and out because, man, I have my business in Nigeria, and also I was scared that, why would I stay here? When I have my business down, in Nigeria, why would I stay?
For sure.
You understand? So, but I was like, oh, okay, keep encouraging myself. Okay, I ask myself, what can we do? This is small, but what can we do better? What can we do to build? Because when we came in, this town is small. There's nothing here, no gig, nothing. Come on, this is too quiet for me. But stepping back, what? Let me start doing. Let's do it. I started into research. Even when I was in Nigeria, I just spent about when we came in, I spent about 2 months with them. Back to Nigeria again because of my business. So, from there, started doing a lot of research. So what can we do? What can I do? If I'm going to move here, what can I do? So I move in. After I spent about 3 months in Nigeria, about a month here. A month here, I go back. So because I won't say I was scared. It's just that I want to think. I want to be sure that I really want to settle down here. So I have that the online radio station, that I said about. So I started that people, throwing into my own African community, especially my Nigerian community. So they love it. Sometimes they tell me, sometimes I don't go to bed until maybe around 1 because they ask me to play. Because it's online radio, people ask me to play music, this part of music. And again, I have over 50,000 songs.
Crazy.
So people were asking me, "Oh, do you have this?" They're making requests. Do you have this? I'll play. Do you have it? So we do that almost every Friday. Every Friday. So I'm always busy Friday night. So we do that, So from there, I realized, oh, okay, people love this. 2 years ago, I started a program called Loud in Moncton.
Loud in Moncton.
Loud in Moncton.
Okay.
Where Loud in Moncton is whereby we could bring everybody together. What can we do? To just have a gig that, let's do something.
Mm-hmm.
So I started that. And last year, I brought in a comedian from Africa. It's called Oke Bakasi. It's a comedian. To Moncton.
Yeah.
So we started that way. People love it. We have a lot of other African country.
Mm-hmm.
Join her. It was beautiful. So okay, this is good. So we started, doing, a lot of entertainment things here, bringing comedians. Last year, same thing. I brought in a comedian. This year, we're planning bringing another comedian. So that we're bringing comedian from other African country, from Senegal, Cameroon. Bringing in, so that we have this, so that people don't think, it's just English side. So we have those,
sure.
Yeah. So that we have the francophone,
as well.
Yeah. So everybody's fine. So we're looking at so that is the story.
Cool.
You understand? So with that, and again, with the help of you guys, I will keep saying it all the time that you're part of my story. So that is my story. So I'll keep saying it. So started doing things, and here we are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy.
Wow.
We're
So
happy.
you are doing and have done and plan to do so much, and that's really quite incredible. And this is part of the discovery process that we love, because we didn't know all of this at all. But we're going to break down our interview with you into a couple of things, because we want to ask a couple of questions more about the mall. Okay. We know that you have something really exciting coming up at Mount Allison here in Sackville with
CHMA.
You're doing your online radio show. You've got a business in Lagos.
Yeah, Lagos. Yes.
That's where you're from. Okay. Amazing. So, and you have what's the online radio show called, and are you still doing that?
Yeah, I'm still.
So what's that called? How can people tune in?
It's online radio. Just
is it at themallmagazine.ca? Is it
no, it's called Cockcrow FM.
Okay, you should put a link on the Mall Magazine
I'm
website.
Gonna do
that. Integrate your companies, right? So, how do you feel the Mall Magazine has impacted the Black community in the Maritimes so far, and what has some of the feedback been about what you're doing?
The impact of the Mall Magazine has been a wonderful thing, I'm telling you, because people have been, sending me messages, people have been calling me, this is great. That what we've been doing, what we've been doing is a wonderful thing. That this is almost the first time they were seeing a lot of a magazine. In fact, I got a call from Fredericton. He just called me. The guy just called me and said, "This is the voice. This your magazine is the voice for the blacks." Mm-hmm. I was touched. I'm telling you, I was touched, because I remember when I met Clinton. I, tell him about the Mall magazine, and he said, "Oh, you produce?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Oh, this is good. This is good. This is, this is good." Mm-hmm. So those are the feedback. Mm-hmm. Those are the feedback. I remember when I interviewed Titipat, our MP in Moncton. She asked for 10 copies every time, every edition. We also send it. We also send it everywhere. We've gotten a lot of great feedback from people, and we do all the interview. For us, it's just to showcase people.
I want to ask a question, and I'm sorry for my ignorance, because I'm excited to be in it. But is it for sale?
No, it's free.
So I've seen advertisements in previous issues, I believe. Is that correct?
Yep.
and banks and other things like that.
Mhm.
Okay, so your business plan is monetization through just increasing ad revenue and advertising and such like that, because it's free, it's high quality, it's obviously
Thank you.
not cheap to
Yeah,
produce.
I
It's
just think
obviously not
someone
cheap
should be
to
buying
produce.
this.
Well,
That could be a plan down the
yeah,
road.
yeah.
right?
You know, I
But,
can't wait for maybe for a bank, for any organization who want to support, who want to be part of the More magazine,
Mhm.
to place their ad at the
yes.
back.
Yeah.
So
yes,
people
of
who are
course.
listening in, if you have contacts from any organization or company that would like to get the word out and reach the different communities that read this magazine, definitely should get in
Absolutely.
touch.
Yeah, the whole of
Amazing.
Atlantic Canada. And again, if they can't get me, they can get you guys.
We'll get them
That
to
too.
you.
Yeah.
That too.
Absolutely. I'm curious too about. Oh, actually, I'll ask that question because it's really interesting, and because I've done my own research into magazines and stuff as well. And you've got the website. How have you found the process of having something that is print, and the people who are asking for it, like you just mentioned, someone asking, 10 copies every single issue, and this distribution of something that's you can physically touch. I mean, I'm proud to physically touch something that I am in,
Yep.
and it is definitely not the same as scrolling and trying to screenshot and share that
Yeah.
on Instagram. Where do you find your readership lies? Are you getting more of that online viewership, or are people, this is more important, the physical touch of the magazine?
Both.
Both.
I'm telling you both.
Okay.
Both. But because like this last edition we have 1,000 copies.
Mhm.
Now we've distributed almost about 700.
Oh wow.
That's neat.
We've been in 700 distributions.
Yeah. And
But
and,
people still read.
people still read
People read.
online.
People
I check
pick up
online because I
books.
check the
Yeah.
back end. I
Yeah.
see a lot of people. I see a lot of comments. People comments at the back end. People read. I because I remember the first time. I remember when I posted your story
Mhm.
on the social media on the other platform.
Yeah.
I send it to all the blacks this thing. I remember I remember under 5 minutes, I'm telling you, under 5 minutes, your story, the readers went up to under 5 minutes, we have about 60.
Oh wow.
Yes.
That's very
It's a good
good.
start.
60, I'm telling you.
Very good.
5 minutes. Because I check the back end. 5 minutes. Your own story, the reader is almost about 50.
We're grateful. We're grateful for every
So grateful.
one person that listens,
Yeah.
every one person that reads. Everyone who does this, they want to see those
Yeah.
millions of
Yeah.
viewers, millions of listeners. But every human being, that's a human being. Every time
Yeah.
you see one view, one read, that's a human being that's paying
Yeah,
attention to what
yeah,
you're doing in this
yeah.
busy world. So we're
Yeah.
certainly grateful.
That's amazing.
And what I was saying was that, of course, people still read, but I mean, people still read physical.
Yeah,
things.
sure.
People
Yeah.
still
Yeah,
read. Book
yeah,
sales went
yeah.
through the roof. Even before COVID, I think actual physical books
Yeah.
sales were like skyrocketing. They're still skyrocketing. They're
Mhm.
really popular. Everyone thought that physical things were going to
Mhm.
become a thing of the past with the
Yeah.
e-readers and everything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, this is important because people still read. Eventually, I feel like you're going to see this on shelves. Like this could be in the Shoppers Drug Mart.
Yep.
This could be everywhere, anywhere by the
Very
grocery
soon,
store. When
very
you're checking
soon.
out, I could see it right
I was
there.
like,
Very soon.
I know some people. I was like, I think we're gonna get you there. Don't worry.
Just imagine if you see why I tell people for me I prefer sometimes bleeding having it not on the internet, because the internet could go down and you still have the copies.
Yes.
That's true.
Well, the internet can go down, and screen time right now
Yes.
is at an all-time high. And I was just this episode will air after the episode that we recorded with Clinton's sister, who is an
Okay.
author, Charlene Carr, who just wrote a book, We Rip the World Apart. And I had just finished an online book, and if I do my job all day and then I'm
Mhm.
doom scrolling the internet, it hurt my eyes.
Oh,
But this book, We Rip the
okay.
World Apart, it was so nice to have a physical book to read and flip
Yeah.
the pages and be
Mhm.
excited about flipping the pages.
Yeah.
And there's something
Yeah.
about that this as well. It's exciting to flip and try to figure out like what's next.
Yeah.
So yeah. No,
Yeah,
paper
shameless
cups-
plug to my sister.
Yeah.
You can put her in
Yeah.
the March issue.
Oh,
Yes.
Woman.
oh, what's the book all about?
All right, let's see if I
Okay.
can.
Well, this is your episode.
Yeah,
But this is
okay,
the
that's
story
fine.
of a family's journey from Jamaica to Toronto to Nova Scotia across 3 different generations.
Yeah.
Um,
Motherhood, loss, police brutality. So
Please, I would love to. I would
Yeah,
love
and
to.
this
I would
is-
love to
We'll
have
connect you.
one. Yeah,
internationally
please, yeah.
published all over the world.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Physical
fine.
copies.
Oh,
and
okay,
hardcopies.
okay,
yeah,
that's
and she's
fine.
got like 14 books. She's incredible.
Ooh.
But back to
But
you,
yes.
also incredible.
Okay.
So you had some great news
Yep.
this week
Yes.
when you came down to the offices of CHMA
Yep.
Yes, tell
before our interview. You were here earlier on in the week, and why
Yep.
don't you tell the people what developed?
And what might be
Yes,
out right now, because this
yes,
episode
yes.
should be out, I
Should I
believe,
get a box of
February
tissue?
15th.
Ah!
Yeah, I'm
No,
kidding.
no, I'm not gonna do
kidding,
that.
kidding,
I'm not
kidding.
gonna do that now. I'm not
kidding.
gonna do that
I'm
now.
kidding.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna do that now. I'm not gonna do that now.
These in-person
And
episodes
then-
are rogue.
Yeah. You know,
No, what happened?
because
Great news.
yeah, great news.
Yeah.
And also thanks to you. I'm telling you, thanks to you.
Yeah,
Like
stop.
I'll keep on saying,
Stop.
you guys are part of my story, and because without you guys, I don't think CHA. I don't think I would know that. I don't think so. Maybe in future, I don't know. For now, you understand. But you know, when you asked me for the interview, I said yes. Oh, why not? I'll be here. So I just, you know what? Let me come and see the radios. I want to come and see the stations, and you know. So I was shocked when I came in. Oh, okay, radio station, and I met
JC.
Jesse.
Yep.
Jesse, I met Jesse. I get Jesse, and I asked him. I have this program that I would love to promote. I would love to showcase. I would love to do this. And he said, "Oh, okay. What's the program?" And I mentioned it to him. I said, "African Evergreen Moment." He said, "Okay. What's it all about?" And I explained the whole thing. We want to, back to, telling stories about the African, playing old music, African old music, And he said, yes, that you can do that. And I look at Jesse. I said, Jesse, please, let's just take the time back. Let's just take this thing back. Just pretend I'm not here. Let me go back to the door and walk in again. That if maybe I'm dreaming, I don't know. I'm telling you that. Okay, you know what? Jesse said no. I said, okay, you know what? I'm coming. I walked back to the door. I knocked. I came in and like,
You really did that?
I said, Jesse, yes, I'm telling you.
love
I said,
this.
Jesse. I said, hi, Jesse. I said, my name is Olu. He said, I said, let me introduce myself. I'm telling you, let me introduce myself again. I said, Jesse, my name is Olu. He said, yes, I know. I said, no. I said, this is Olu. He said, yes, we've met. I said, no. Where? He said, here. He said, just like 5 minutes. I said, no. I said, yes, I'm just coming here for the first time. I said, this is my first time. I'm telling you. No, I know it's funny, sometimes. You know what? He said, okay. I said, please, can I? He said, yes, you were here before. I said, no. Jesse, no. I said, okay, can I have my seat? He said, you're okay. I said, please, I have a proposal. I have this. He said, Jesse said, yes, you've explained this thing before. Are you sure? I said, are you sure? He said, yes. I asked him again, are you sure? He said, yeah, you've been here. I said, no. This is my first time. I've been. The guy said, no. He said, come on, Holo. Is everything fine? I said, yes. And I said, this is the proposal. This is it. I've been trying to do this for the past 3 years.
Yep.
For the past 3 years, I've been trying to go online, with this. And he said, yes, no, that's my problem. I was like, that very day I was looking at myself and like, are you sure? Am I sleeping? Or something? I was like, is it my dream? Am I on my bed? I was trying to like figure out, is it true or not? You understand? I was
Right.
checking
Yeah.
if it is true or not. So he asked me, why am I here? And I said, oh, Clinton, I'm here to do interview, but it's 2027. But I'm just here to just check the station so that I'll check, environment and see that, oh, okay, because I love doing that. If you ask me to come
Your
somewhere,
research.
too, I want you
Scout the
guys
scene.
so that I will come.
Yeah.
Oh, where will I park? If I'm gonna do
Absolutely.
this, I'm gonna do that. You
Wow.
know,
Of
I want to
course.
check. I want to check around. You know, and he said yes. And for me, JC was too. I don't know how to describe it. I'm like, this is. I've seen a lot of, station telling me no, you can't do it, and you are just telling me under 5 minutes. Then you are telling me what I've been looking for the past 3 years. 5 minutes, you're just telling me, yeah, you can do it. Take the program. Okay, fill this, and when the next thing he said, when do you want to go online? What? Ask him what? He said yes. I said, when do you ask me again? I said, when? He said, when? Do you want next week Saturday? I'm like, no, you know what? You have to wait. I have to go back home and think about it. Not to think about, I have to go back. See, not to go back home to think about it, but to go back home and make sure that I'm in Sackville. I want to just I'm sure that I'm in Sackville or I'm in Moncton or something. I want to make sure that it's true, that this is real. You understand? This is real. So when I was going home, from here to Moncton, I was in tears. This is not so. Like I said to you, I will give all the kudos to, all the praise to God. But after that, it's you guys. Because without you guys, no, I'm telling you, no. Let's be realistic.
Well,
without you guys,
okay,
without you guys,
that.
without you guys, without you guys, no. Let me. I need to finish this. But because without you guys, I won't be here.
I'm gonna counter that.
No. You know what? I've said it to over in my friends, both in anywhere in the whole world. I've said it. I'm telling you, I've said it to almost about 200 of my friends. That without these guys, no. I'm telling you.
You're too kind. I
You
can't
need to tell
remember the
them that you
exact
put us
very
in the-
first place we met. I feel like we first met on Instagram and then in person. But if you hadn't have approached us when you did to ask us to be in the magazine, and of course I've talked about having you on the show for a long time, but we are busy and scatterbrained.
Yeah.
After you approached us, we're like, yeah, we have to have you on the show as well, like we've been planning, and that's the fact that it coordinated. It's all about the timing. The fact that it coordinated with Hillary's trip, because otherwise we would have been talking to you from your house on the internet, and you wouldn't have been down here. So it's just, it's meant to be.
Thank you.
It was in the cards. It was written in the cards.
Thank you.
I believe they say
you're funny.
they say that in some African language. Sorry that I don't know which, but maktub.
Maktub?
Isn't the idea of it's meant to be, or what is supposed to happen will come. So maktub.
I know your show is going to be great. I'm very against stereotypes, but I know Nigerians are very funny.
Yes. So far, you've been hilarious.
Many
so
of the
it's
people
true.
we've interviewed have a great sense of humor.
Yes.
And my father, we did the DNA test, and it seems like our ancestry 500 years ago is mostly Nigerian, and I know there's a lot of similarities and parallels between Jamaican and Nigerian culture. I know during the transatlantic slave trade, I think the majority of the enslaved that ended up in Jamaica, they were stolen from Nigeria, or from at least that part of Africa at the time. So yeah, it's just
I think we need to do DNA. It's possible that you're my brother.
It could be.
Some kind of brother.
You're my sister.
No, my father looks like a lot of Nigerian people that I've met for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll show you a photo after. I'll show you a photo after. But so you have a new show that will be airing on CHMA. I'll take a moment to say kudos to CHMA.
Yeah,
kudos. Been on the board with CHMA for about a year and a half, almost 2 years now. I served for 1 year as the president. The station manager is James, and I will say CHMA is definitely a champion of trying to be diverse and equal opportunities, and really doing the work.
Yeah.
So it's going to be great. What's the show going to be called?
It's called African Evergreen Moments.
African Evergreen Moments. And did you set a time and date?
Saturday at 2 p.m.
Saturdays at 2
p.m.
p.m.
And I think by mid-February it would have already come out, right?
Yeah, the next one, we're moving on. Our first live show will be next week Saturday.
Next week, Saturday. So by this point, it's already started. So check it out every Saturday.
Every Saturday, 2 p.m.
Amazing. All right. Well, it has been a pleasure having
Same
you
here.
come down and be on the show. It's the mallmagazine.ca.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also at chmafm.com is
Yep.
where you're going to be able to pick up Olumide's new show, African Evergreen
Green Moments.
Moments. Amazing. So you have had the honor today to hear from a photographer, comedian, audio engineer, graphic designer,
interviewer,
entrepreneur, publisher,
radio host, an all-around great guy.
Activist.
And just a lovely person to be around.
Yeah. So, you are contributing to the future of Atlantic Canada.
Thank you.
New Brunswick especially has always been sort of a homogenous culture, yes, of Anglophone and Francophone, but mostly of European descent, and that is changing. That's been changing for decades. I don't know if you've heard about what New Brunswick was like 25, 30 years ago when Hillary grew up, and when I would come to visit, it was a nightmare. Not to be rude, it was a bit of a nightmare for people of different cultural backgrounds. And you are contributing to the future, and the drops in the water, the ripples that are going to come out from the work that you're doing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
This is going to be incredible. We don't see the effects of our work. You plant the seed, and 50 years later, there's a big tree. You don't see it, right? Yeah. And you are part of the whole diaspora of everything we're doing to try to make this a more equal place for all cultures, not just Black people, everyone. Equality.
Everyone.
And that starts, the work that we do it'll help everyone. We break down stereotypes, break down racism, and you're contributing to that. And we're so happy and proud that you can be on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much.
The handle on Instagram is that.
The Mall Magazine,
as well.
Yes.
So look them up, and do you want to sign us out to all of our
like, comment, subscribe, rate, give us money, please. And then what we're gonna do? We're gonna take that money and we're gonna get copies of this. And we're gonna share people's stories.
Yeah.
We're going to put it back in the community because we want to have more journalists and reporters and people who are going to amplify these stories. So please share this episode widely. Get the mall if you can. Check us out at BlackLantic.ca. This is going to be our last in-person episode for a little bit, but he will be in Toronto soon. And I think that's another episode.
Yep.
And peace.
Thank you.